They didn't look at the age of consent
in the third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking
he hit the
unbelievable!
Monty. He hit the Monty. He said age of consent in the jurisdiction, as in like, oh, it was. Hey guys, it's not about federal age of consent, okay? It's like every state has a different age of consent law.
I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case, but these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts.
Bro said there's a loophole.
The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from their other streamers outside of the obvious? I mean, just take a look at me. Right? Unfiltered. The realest motherfucker in this industry.
Dude, you're literally dressed up.
Gorgeous, athletic, successful,
How are
college
you doing
degree,
a character?
college athlete, bourbon business,
How are you
gaming
doing
student.
a character in the
beautiful
midst
family.
of being,
And trust me,
like,
we worked
in the
hard
midst of like
for over a
pedophilia
decade
allegations?
to improve
I'm
as a
losing my
person,
mind,
a
bro.
husband and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place today. And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect.
This is madness, actually madness.
But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the two-time. The reality is, they wanted to cut down the doc. Plain and simple. Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here. Example number one.
Am I going to be on this?
A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies, ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies. Why wasn't I called into a meeting? Why wasn't my intent taken into consideration, champs? Example number two.
You think he's reading or riffing?
Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract. Example number three.
Who the f- is
Streamer
that?
was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with
Who's
themselves.
that?
Never suspended, but instead given a
Bro.
multi-million-dollar contract.
Who are these people? Hey, yo!
It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract. The doc's termination lines up with two preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer. As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, and go look at the timing.
If the N-word
These
mentioned
other
is Kai,
expensive
that's
streamers
crazy.
needed a new streaming
Like,
platform.
Twitch didn't ban a black streamer for using the
To
N-word
terminate
is
the
like an
two-time.
insane f***ing thing to say. I doubt that he means Kai.
See, I
There's
shouldn't
no
even
way,
be
right?
banned from Twitch.
They're after me because I'm a straight white guy.
It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020 and now in 2024. And Cody, Connors, I just have to say it again. Why would you do this? Like I said, this was handled professionally years ago. No wrongdoing.
By the way, the reason why I was not
Because of
mentioned
you,
in
Cody?
this is because Twitch bans my ass more than anybody else.
We just lost. Man. Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's everyone else's fault and not yours for trying to f minors.
Because of
You're
you,
right.
Cody.
That's crazy. He's blaming. Dude, that is insane, dude. That is an insane thing to say. Oh, my God. Yo, streamers have too much power. Streamers have too
through all
much
this-
power. Midnight dropped you, brother.
like a
What are you
fucking man, I'll
talking
accept it.
about? Dog,
ones
you
that-
admitted to inappropriately texting a minor. What the f is this entire
can't understand that
conversation?
mindset. I could care less. We've always stayed in our lane. But somehow, some way, these people, they just get in our
Bruh.
lane. For all you doc haters, I'm sure you'll dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me. Do what you need to do. I'll say this isn't for you. This was for my team today, my community, my friends, La Familia, that have supported me And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize. All I know is that I never did what Twitch, Cody Connors, or the public is claiming that I did.
But wait, what? Wait, his angle is literally, yeah, I tried to a minor, but like it wasn't illegal technically, even though it was, but it wasn't illegal enough for there to be like it warrant a criminal prosecution. Also, other people also have done awful things.
I just want to get back to what we do best. Put on a show and climb our way to the tippity top of the mountain, man.
His argument is literally, I wasn't criminally charged for it. Yeah, there could be a litany of different reasons as to why there was no criminal prosecution beyond this. There are literally kick streamers right now that are targeting minors and collecting CSAM, and they're not legally prosecuted. That doesn't mean that they're not doing that. That's number one. And number two, a platform's responsibility to stop further predation of minors is obviously going to be significantly different than like what warrants a criminal prosecution. It doesn't have to get to that criminal element for a platform to understandably say one of our largest streamers that we've given multiple millions of dollars to was trying to fuck a minor at TwitchCon. We don't think this is a good idea. We're gonna perma you. Oh, he's also refusing to leak the messages because he doesn't want to show them because obviously they're fucked up. Let me explain a couple things for people who are just tuning in. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with what's going on, this was one of the largest content creators on Twitch, very famous for a litany of different controversies, most of them involving him cheating on his wife, one of them involving him inappropriately filming inside of a bathroom at E3, I believe, or was it TwitchCon? Anyway, he's been banned a bunch of times for a bunch of different things. Overall, he unceremoniously, out of nowhere, in a very weird time for Twitch, when there was like a string of Me Too allegations happening in the streaming space, when Twitch had released a statement saying, hey, if there's anyone you want to report, if you've ever been like predated on, you know, no holds barred, please let us know. And right around that same tweet, during the string of Me Too allegations happening in the Twitch sphere, he just gets banned out of nowhere. And this becomes a major controversy. It's one of the biggest mysteries in the streaming space of all time. This was a couple years ago. Now, all of a sudden, a couple months prior to now, one of the former Twitch employees comes out and is like, yeah, that motherfucker got banned because he was trying to fuck a minor, okay? Fuck him and all of his homies. Then everybody starts reporting on it. They're like, oh my God, turns out, yeah, he was actually trying to fuck a minor. What the hell's going on? Here's the deal. Even when that originally started, like all this controversy and shit, like I personally was like, listen, we don't know yet. We don't have enough detail. We don't have enough evidence. And then, well, I didn't have to say that any longer because he came out with a long effort post being like, yeah, I tried to talk to a minor inappropriately. What of it? He just came out and admitted it. And then he just fucked off for like a month. As a 35-year-old man at the time, now he's like 40. But as a 35-year-old man at the time, he was in the whispers of Twitch of a minor trying to cheat on his wife with a minor. These are things that he admitted to. He said he's, you know, inappropriately talked to a minor. The minor obviously years later reported that conversation to Twitch, and Twitch banned him when they found out. They were like, this is crazy. Boom, banned. You have evidence? Dog, what do you mean do I have evidence? Look in front of you. He literally said, were there Twitch whisper messages with the individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. That is crazy, bro. Okay, we are now officially reaching new levels of insanity, okay? We're reaching new levels of like, I never really thought in big old 2024, we would have motherfuckers that reversed back beyond like caveman shit. I used to joke, I'd be like, oh, dude, you got real peasant brain. Like, you're like, oh, me lord, you deserve all the grain, me lord. Motherfuckers are now literally like inventing fire stage at this point, okay? Brains have been completely flipped. He admitted it. What do you mean? What's the evidence? But now he's back, and apparently he's addressing it all. Now, he had a moment. Why would he admit it? He didn't have to. I don't even know, dude. And in terms of like suing someone for defamation, you can't do that if you openly are like, yeah, inappropriately texted a minor. Like, yeah, I did that. You can't do that. What do you mean? In order for it to be defamation, especially in the United States of America, there has to be an intent, malicious intent to defame.